Okay.
Great. Glad everybody could join us for our first ever web version meeting of the Environmental Sustainability Task Force. I'm Sue Anderbois. I'm our current chair. And really glad that you all can join us and that you're staying safe. Can we start off, please, with a roll call from the clerk's office? I assume we still have to do that, right? Yeah.
Oh, Jen, we don't, maybe your phone's on mute, Jen. Are you ready, Jen?
Hello.
Oh, hey, Jesus, we're doing roll call. So you didn't miss anything.
Yep.
Oh, there you are.
Chairwoman Andrew Blunt.
I'm here.
Vice Chairman Drick.
He's absent.
You're really low, Jen. Can you put your phone a little bit closer to you? Yeah, maybe, or put it on speakerphone.
Like that.
It sounds like you're coming in actually through your computer, but maybe you'll have to switch back to your computer because the audio was better before, and we'll have to test it out later with your phone. Do you want to just click back and switch back to your computer audio in the lower left-hand corner?
Sure.
No, did you click on the lower left-hand corner and click the up thing next to the mute, and then click switch to computer audio?
Yep.
And then click join computer audio, or click the middle tab and click join computer audio.
Can you hear me better?
Not yet.
No. No.
Are you looking at the join audio now? Oh, I think we lost her. Now she's going to probably rejoin. I'll go ahead and take roll so you guys can get started.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
Chairwoman Anderbois?
I'm here.
Vice Chairman Drix?
Absent.
Absent. Catherine Van Amberg is absent. Carlos Garcia Quijano?
I'm here.
Kevin Purdy is absent. Amelia Rose?
I'm here.
Vadik Kumba?
Present.
You have 4 present and 3 absent, but you don't have a quorum, right? Because you have a 9-member panel. So
yeah,
you have the chair. You have the floor, Chairwoman.
Okay, thank you. So first, I really want to thank the clerk's office and the Office of Sustainability for being flexible with us and figuring out how to have us continue to meet in this time of social distancing. I know we'd all prefer to be together, but I'm glad that we're all safe and separate. And thank you guys for figuring this out so that we could continue meeting and doing the work that we want to do. So thank you. And also want to start by congratulating Leah and the Racial and Environmental Justice Committee. They won an award at Clean Water Action's Breakfast of Champions this morning. And it was really exciting to see Monica and Leah and the mayor accept that award on behalf of the whole team, their whole team, for doing the work on the climate justice strategy. So it's really exciting to see that. So I wanted to just congratulate you guys in front of everyone. So the main thing on the agenda today is talking about the summary report that Leah and Emily and her team sent around from 2019. And so, Sean, am I allowed to share my screen so folks can see that?
Yes, that is fine.
Okay.
Let me hold on for a second. I'm going to enable that for you.
Thanks.
Okay, you should be able to do that now.
Okay. One sec. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that. I thought it was up and it is not. Sorry, you're all staring at my face, staring at my laptop. There it is. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yay! Okay. I also want to recognize that Jesus is on with us. Jesus will soon be a member of the ESTF. We're just waiting on his ability to meet with the mayor, which obviously is on hold at the moment because nobody can see each other in person. But he's here and will soon be a full member of the ESTF. So thanks for being with us, Jesus. So members of the ESTF were emailed the 2019 Sustainable Providence Progress Report. So you guys all saw this. And I just wanted to check in. I don't know if Leah or Emily, if you guys had any particular pieces you wanted to highlight, but wanted to leave open the opportunity to walk through it and then hear any questions or comments from the task force and also members of the public. I'll take a quick step back. For folks who haven't been to ESTF meetings before, the way that we generally operate is that the ESTF, the actual task force members will be able to ask questions and things first. And then, pardon me, once that happens, it's always open for questions or comments from the public as well. Sorry, I have a little something in my throat. And probably the best way to do that is if you put a question in either the Q&A or we'll figure it out as we go along. So either put a question in the Q&A or you should also be able to, if you go under where it says participants, so at the bottom of your screen where it says participants, if you click on that, you can click something called raise hand. And then I can see and other task force members can see when people have raised their hand. So if you want to try that as well, I'll make sure I monitor the raised hand portion. So that if anybody else wants to speak. But Leah or Emily, not to put you on the spot, but were there any pieces that you in particular wanted to carve out or highlight?
Yeah, I think the executive summary provides a good kind of like broad overview of what the report is. It was helpful for me to understand where it originated. So the Sustainable Providence Plan was released in 2014. Then it was updated with the greenhouse gas goals in 2015. And following that update is when we created a report like this in which we laid out all of the highest priority actions, which is the most detailed level of the Sustainable Providence Plan in this table format, and kind of gave action status updates, which we defined for the first time here too, since I wasn't super clear on the difference between in progress or ongoing. And so this continues that update with what happened in calendar year 2019. It's categorized by the same layout of the Sustainable Providence Plan, along with the addition of the climate section. And what we do at the end, which I think is the most important kind of point of discussion, is do a side-by-side comparison, or began to do a side-by-side comparison of what the climate justice plan priority strategies are. And I really only looked at the summary priority strategies with what we've been tracking for the past 5 years in the Sustainable Providence report. So it kind of makes some summaries of how things align or differ between what we have been tracking in the Sustainable Providence Plan with some of the new goals and strategies that we've set forth in the Climate Justice Plan.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. This was a super complete report. A quick question I had, is this something that you guys have posted publicly on your website or through social media, or is there a plan for that?
Leo, it was being submitted to the City Council, right? On that?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello? All right. Sorry, figuring out the whole phone connection thing. We have not shared it yet. We wanted to have a conversation with the task force first, but this is a report that is requested that we per the city ordinance to be shared with the mayor and the city council every year.
Awesome.
And yeah, I think just to add to what Emily was saying, I definitely want to hear from folks on the reporting. So, we put this together for the task force for discussion and for the council and mayor, but we also want to get a sense for how this information, especially now that we have the climate justice plan and the sustainable province plan, what is the best way to do reporting on both of these plans? Is this something that we should continue to report on in this way and just add the new stuff from the climate justice plan? Should we keep the climate justice plan reporting separate going forward so we can see how we're moving forward on those items independently, even though there is some overlap, but it might be best just to see them separately, or should we try to combine it into one kind of master report to say, here's all the things we accomplished, and some of them maybe are in the climate justice plan, some are in the sustainable providence plan.
So task force members, you guys have seen this. I sent this actually a couple weeks ago so that you could have plenty of time to see it before we chatted. Would be interested in any of your feedback. I obviously as always have like tons of questions and thoughts, but want to hold mine to make sure we have space for yours. So maybe to make it easier, I'll just go down my screen of who I can see and call on you, and then feel free to say no comment, but also feel free to just get going. So first I have Carlos.
No comment this time.
Cool. How about Vadik?
No, I don't have any comments right now.
Okay, cool too. How about Jesus?
Same, no comment.
This is gonna be a quick meeting, you guys. How about Amelia?
I do not have any comments.
Okay, who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Well, I have a quick comment / thought. So first, I was excited. I really wanted to recognize the milestone from 2019 that you guys met of developing the like a carbon neutral strategy. You not only created a carbon neutral strategy, you released the climate justice plan, which I think was well beyond what was probably envisioned when the city said that they wanted to be carbon neutral. Like, I think that what you've accomplished is much more impressive than what you set out to do. So I just kind of wanted to say that out loud. And then I had a few others. I'm kind of wondering, so this is a lot of actions and a lot of things to track. Are there, I guess, two questions that came out of that. One was, are you finding this is primarily a report of the actions of the Office of Sustainability, or is this the report of the implementation of this plan, but like scattered across many agencies, and you're more of like a coordinating body rather than having to actually do this quantity of work?
Yeah, it's definitely the latter. So that's sort of our responsibility with the Office of Sustainability, is to kind of coordinate and share that information. But a lot of these actions range from public works to planning to Providence Water. So there's a lot of coordination and a lot of kind of, in order to put this together, it's a lot of kind of herding cats to get the information.
And then I guess like go ahead, Em.
It was an interesting starting point because it doesn't address all of the strategies and goals. It really started with the highest priority actions that we set in 2014. And every year those were sometimes updated or changed or removed if they were completed. So it's not exactly a complete picture of all of our goals and everything that we're doing.
I guess to that point, since there are so many actions in here, plus also there's a bit of an echo, and I'm not sure why, because I'm wearing a headset. So I apologize for that. But there are so many actions, and like across all the different things, plus now you layer on the climate justice strategy, what would you guys say that this helps guide what your then 2021, 2020, but we're midway through / 2021 priorities are? And like, how do you kind of like hone in from the like kind of vast list that's here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think ideally what the process would be is that we would submit this report to the task force in the beginning of the year, and that would help inform the priority setting for the next year. We can look at what we've accomplished, what areas have we really lagged behind, and I think those conversations can happen concurrently as well, but I do think it's helpful to kind of see the big picture and see where we're making progress and see where we're not making progress, and see, how that informs or aligns with our priorities.
And layering on the climate justice strategy, given that that also has a whole list of projects and priorities, some of which map on well to the Sustainable Providence Plan, some of which don't. Like, how do you guys handle that? Like places where they don't overlap? Like, how are you guys thinking through that, if you don't mind my asking? Because that might also inform like how the reporting goes going forward.
How does it? Can you repeat the question? I guess like what?
Yeah, I probably wasn't super clear. Like, given that that's now a whole additional plan with its own action items, some of which map onto the Sustainable Providence Plan, some of which, there's some overlap, but it's like a Venn diagram without complete overlap. How do you guys prioritize between the two, or not? Like, are you doing both, or is one kind of taking precedence, and that might affect like how the reporting is going forward, and what might be the best path for that? I don't know if that made sense.
I think the final note in the executive summary was, I think we need to do some kind of comprehensive comparison and alignment of goals and kind of decide how they overlap on a larger level. I think the conversation we've been having about rewriting the sustainability section of the comprehensive plan has been a helpful structure for how we'll go about this. We kind of laid out the categories of the comp plan, the Sustainable Providence Plan, and the Climate Justice Plan, and tried to make sure that everything had a place. And I think that will guide us as we try to decide how they align.
Yeah, and in terms of priorities, I mean, I think so much of what we do is based on where there's momentum and energy as well, whether that's from the community, from city council. I mean, there are many different examples of where momentum has sort of come from. Sometimes too, it's from an outside funder who there's an opportunity to do something that's in the plan, so we jump on it. So that's a lot of how I think the actual implementation gets done. Of course, we want it all, and it just depends where's the energy. If there is, momentum coming from the community or the REJC or whoever on a particular, action item or strategy within the plan, let's go there. So it is very fluid, I guess.
Well, I was also really struck by reading through the section at the end where the comparison, which is what I have up on the screen now, even for areas where it seemed like differs, it wasn't like a differ in terms of like different priorities, just like one strategy or one plan had looked at hadn't gone deep enough or hadn't gone deep in that way. Like for school buses, the transportation section of the Sustainable Providence Plan identified reducing pollutions from vehicles as a key strategy, but didn't layer on the piece about the city school buses as protecting the health of our children. So it was there in alignment, but like one didn't quite go far enough or didn't like look through a certain lens. So it seemed like even in areas where it was highlighted like differs, that like they were actually like in alignment, but just like saying things, things have evolved in the last 5 years in really positive and good ways. Any other task force? Yeah, go ahead, Leah.
I was just going to say, I would definitely want to go back to task force and members of the public, because I do think it's really important we get some feedback on the best way to be reporting on these plans, especially from the REJC with regard to the climate justice plan. Accountability and transparency is really important to us, and we can, you know, take this information and report it, you know, the best way that we know how, but if that's not accessible or doesn't help the community understand what's happening in our office, then we're not doing, you know, we're not serving that goal of transparency or accountability.
Yeah. Do any other task force members have comments or thoughts, or we can also move to the general public as well? And I'm monitoring the hand raising, but also feel free to like raise your physical hand. And I'm going to stop sharing so I can better see everybody's faces.
I guess a suggestion, if you're looking to be more public, is just, I know you all have like the sustainability fair coming up. And so, and you're doing like a series of like public facing things. I think that once this goes and you all figure out how to do that, being able to be more public facing and doing more like regular like office hours or something like this, where it's like the office is open for this hour or whatever, and you just talk to people. You know, I think that it has been successful with like the governor when she does like daily, you know what I'm saying, like check-ins on COVID. But I do think people are interested and tuned in. So if you did something once a week or something like that, I think that could be a way of getting the information out there to the public.
Great, thanks, Ada. I see some nodding heads, so that's helpful.
Other
I think
thoughts?
now with technology too, it's even easier to do something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if there could be like a webinar or something that kind of gives a regular update. And I love that this is being streamed on like YouTube, because now something like this, if you did it, you could have it live there and we could direct people to it. Not this meeting, but like others, knowing that that's a technology we have.
Right.
Anybody else, even members of the public? Okay. Thanks, Leah. Thanks, Emily. I thought it was a really amazing report. And if members of the task force have thoughts after we hang up, I know this is I know we're all getting used to Zoom and like what that interaction is like. And normally when we're in person, it's easier to like riff off each other and get the conversation going. But it's also Friday afternoon, so I suspect some people are getting a little, tired. But if folks continue to have thoughts afterward, feel free to send them to Leah or Emily, or if you want to send them to me, I'm happy to, as I mentioned in my email, to collate to bring them all together into one piece of paper to share with Emily and Leah, so they don't have to. I don't know if that's collate. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Bring it all together. So feel free to continue to share thoughts, and I can resend it to you all so you have it at the top of your inboxes. Vatic gave a really great kind of segue. We had also wanted to spend some time talking about the upcoming Sustained PVD Fair and kind of other exciting things happening in Providence and with the office. So I don't know if Emily or Leah, if you wanted to give an update on what's going on with the Sustained PVD Fair and how we can help with outreach. I loved the Facebook Live event you did this week. It was really exciting. So yeah, please share what's coming up and how we can be helpful.
Yeah, I'll get started, then turn it over to Emily and Court. And
Court,
really
hi, sorry,
excited.
yeah.
We're really excited to do the fair virtually this year. It'll be May 18th through the 23rd. We did our announcement on Wednesday, as you mentioned. It was our first, yes, it was our first live Zoom. We had some live music there and a bunch of our partners talking about what to expect with the fair this year. And it was not only a great trial run for us to do that type of broadcast, but it was also a lot of fun and went really well. So we had tremendous interest from the community in participating in the fair, sharing all sorts of different resources, from things like a community sing-along, a virtual sing-along, to learning to play instruments at home, to we have some content, a lot of content that's going to be offered in Spanish, including container gardening and raising backyard chickens. So those are some of the things that jump out to me off the top of my head. And I'll let Emily and Court share what they're looking forward to. But we hope that you will help us get the word out. And also we might be looking for some volunteers, because we did have such an overwhelming response for content. Even if you're new to the whole Zoom workshop facilitation world, it is our world now. It's most of our worlds now. And so we're hoping to have someone who can be in each session to just help with the, troubleshooting, and someone is having trouble with their camera or whatever, to get them squared away, so that the host doesn't have to kind of juggle all of those responsibilities, and just, making sure things go as smoothly as possible. So that would be really helpful if folks from the task force could volunteer. Emily, Court, anything to add? What are you excited about?
I'm excited to see what this looks like, honestly, what everything looks like at the end. I'm excited for people to get to see the content and be able to engage, even though it's still really fumbly when we try to do it this way. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited that there's Spanish language resources available. That makes me very and I think the question around what can you do to help is obviously amplify. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to share every day of content. You could pick a couple things that you're excited about and share those things, or things you're going to tune into. I would love that. And I would love if we could amplify really the community, the frontline community partners that we have that are part of it. So if you're looking at the schedule, please just be sharing that stuff and tune in.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. I'm looking forward to the daily yoga. Is that happening?
Yes. Yeah, and just a big shout out to both Emily and Court, and especially Emily, has put in a lot of work to pull this all together. And there's still a lot of work to do, but we're going to get there.
Where can folks go to find the schedule?
So we're working on it right now. We hope to have it finalized by early next week, but it will all be on Facebook in the same PVD Fair Facebook event.
Oh, cool.
There'll probably be 3 to 4 events per day, in addition to yoga at 10, community yoga. Which will be great.
This is exciting. I'm glad you guys are still doing it.
Yeah, so clear your calendar. This is like all day, 18th to the 23rd.
Carlos.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Emily is on message. Carlos or Vatic or Amelia, do you guys have any questions or comments or thoughts or offers to volunteer? I see some smiles.
Yeah.
They must be on mute.
Did you say?
I don't have a specific offer to volunteer, but I can say that I am willing to volunteer on an ad hoc basis.
What do you want volunteers to do?
Yeah, we can send more information when we have specific sessions that we need help for. But we might be looking for volunteers to join various workshops or sessions and just be there to support the session leader if they need anything or they're having some last minute issues. Maybe you're the one who calls me or Emily to be like, hey, they need this. We can pop in and make sure everything goes smoothly.
Okay.
Cool. So Carlos, thumbs up.
Let me look at the schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be
Thank
on
you.
the Facebook page is what they shared. So I'll make sure that gets sent
Yeah.
out to the list.
TBD fair?
Sustain TBD Fair, and we'll send out a like digital kind of hard copy outside of Facebook with the whole kind of schedule as well.
Cool.
If you want to send me something, you can email it to me.
Will
Cool.
do.
Thanks, Judy. Vatic or Amelia?
I do not volunteer, for the record, but I'll probably pop in to support.
Nice.
Yeah. I also, one of the other exciting things about us is we do have funding thanks to the CR Club to support all of the artists. And those are offering content, especially our frontline community-based organizations. So if
Awesome.
you do want to, if anyone wants to have a role that isn't volunteer-based, please reach out as well.
I will pop in to support. That's what I mean.
Thank you.
That's great.
Oh, I
Amelia?
have an idea.
Yeah, Judy, go ahead.
Yeah.
Maybe some of you are going to the plant sale at Southside Community Land Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could make a little flyer that goes out with each person's purchases, because that would be a bunch of people who would be interested.
That's a great
That's
idea.
a great idea.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Judy. Yeah.
I thought the plant sale was virtual this year.
It's virtual, but there's
Yeah,
physical
pick up, yeah.
plants
You
that
gotta-
you pick up. Yeah.
Yeah. You still got to get the live plants.
Oh, right.
It's just like a Tamagotchi.
They're selling virtual plants.
Yeah, it's a virtual plant.
Virtual garden.
And if you guys hadn't gotten a chance to be outside, Southside posted a video of Rich and the team growing all the beautiful plants for the plant sale. So you can kind of virtually feel like you're on a farm in the middle of the city.
Nice.
It's really delightful.
Mm.
Cool. Any other big updates, Leah, Emily, or Court?
Actually, yeah, I just want to add, and it's related to the Sustain TBD Fair. We have a few other announcements coming out around the same time. We thought it was a really good idea to do everything in like 4 days. maybe not. But we are also going to be, somewhere around then soon, we're going to be launching our pesticide-free PVD campaign, and this is a campaign to get more residents and really anyone who is a business or institution with land in the city to commit to not using synthetic pesticides or fertilizers on their property. This is a way to not only protect people who might be playing or hanging out in those lawns or gardens, but also it's a big issue for water quality and just the health of our ecosystem. You know, pesticides kill all bugs, not just the quote unquote bad bugs. So trying to minimize the use of those really helps pollinators, butterflies, bees, and people and water. So it's a good thing, and you'll be able to sign up for a pledge, and then we'll get you a yard sign that you can put in your yard so that your neighbors know that you've gone pesticide free, and hopefully spread the information about why it's an important thing to consider. So all that, and then we also will be sharing some information via a fun video and survey about community choice aggregation program in Providence, and we'll be getting that information out starting in the next couple of weeks. And the idea is to not only help people understand what community choice aggregation is, but also get some feedback so we can develop our plan for the program that ultimately will go to the Public Utilities Commission for approval. Before that, it also has to be approved by City Council, and there has to be a public hearing. So there's definitely some process to get through, but we're excited to kind of get these fun videos that will help people understand what we're doing. And we're also going to be looking for some community advisors to help, one, give us feedback on the content, so it's accessible to our Providence community, particularly frontline communities, because we are really hoping to target our engagement and the the development of the plan, the input for that plan from those communities. And we're looking for 20 community advisors. They will receive a stipend for their time and their efforts on this, and help not only shape the content, but then also help get the word out and make sure we get a robust response from the communities in Providence.
That's awesome. For the pesticide piece, I just want to say I'm really excited about that. I know wearing my job hat during the 9 to 5, I work for the Nature Conservancy, and we testified on a number of bills this year about pesticides, and hearing from folks talking about the impact that residential users of pesticides have on our bee population and our pollinator populations and all the impacts it has. And the farmers and others are actually like, their use of it is regulated in a way that ours isn't. And so ours is residential customers and non like large, farming or whatever operations, landscape operations. So I'm really excited about that. And I just feel like I've personally been seeing all the little signs pop up in the last few weeks as people are starting to garden and whatever. And it's disgusting to see all the little like signs pop up about all the different pesticides people have like poured all over their lawns, all across the area of town that I live in. So I'm just personally really excited to see you guys embarking on that.
I think one piece of it that we're probably going to build out over time is our model was more of a pesticide-free yard, but also just thinking about people that don't have yards and the ways that pesticides make their way into our home. And so providing a little bit of framework and recommendations around pesticides in our home as well. And then I was just thinking about that this pesticide-free campaign is one of those examples of something that we're working on that is not stated in any particular plan, that needs to be kind of like noted as and stated as a value in some way. Yeah.
And I also just wanted to note too that this work is also following the leadership of our Parks Department, they use hardly any pesticides or fertilizers. They don't use any fertilizers on any of our parklands, and they only use pesticides when absolutely necessary. They generally use other pest management practices to reduce pests. So they're doing some incredible work that deserves to be recognized, and we are hoping to do that through this campaign as well.
That's awesome.
So especially now with people spending so much time in their homes, hopefully in parks and backyards and other green spaces as well, we want to make sure these are healthy and safe spaces.
And as people are being directed to like enjoy recreation locally and in their neighborhoods, if you're just walking around a place where pesticides have been blasted and then you're bringing them into your home on your pants and your sneakers and your pets, like it's a real health concern.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not that my dog like rolls around in other people's yards, but
Right.
I try not to. Any other updates of things happening in the next little bit? Cool. The last thing on the agenda was just thinking about our next meeting. So this meeting was supposed to be our April meeting, which we pushed back because of obviously COVID and not being able to meet in person. I personally think it doesn't make sense for us to meet again in 2 weeks when our May meeting was scheduled. And so I think maybe us meeting at our regular scheduled June time, which is Monday, June 22nd, makes sense. But if you guys disagree, please let me know. We'll see closer to then what meeting at that time looks like. If we do another Zoom conversation, it'll probably be another Zoom conversation, you guys, but like, but if Monday the 22nd works for folks, and one of the things I'd love to be on that agenda is we do still have 2 vacancies, or we will have 2 vacancies because Kevin is stepping down as he's mentioned in prior meetings, and David stepped down. We have 3 really great applicants for those spots. I have previously sent around 2 of those applicants, but we had one other person apply in the last little bit of time, and she and I are going to get some Zoom coffee, which is, each of us making our own cup of coffee in our homes. And I am going to send out to the task force members the summary of the conversations I've had with the 3 applicants, as well as their applications, but would love for us to discuss, like, I'll send it to you in advance, would love for you to send any initial comments, and we can discuss that potentially at our June meeting, along with other agenda items. But just wanted to throw that out there as testing, that you aren't like, no, I imminently need to meet in 2 weeks on the 18th when we had previously planned, and that you feel comfortable waiting for our June meeting, but totally open for you disagreeing or having other things you'd like us to do or talk about. Carlos is good. Vatic is good. Amelia, how do you feel?
Good. Less meetings, the better.
Nice. Members of the public, Judy, that work for you?
I'll come. I'm not going anywhere.
Sean and Jennifer, I'll follow up with you on the exact date, and we can make sure we're prepared if we do talk about candidates, so that we follow all the rules to be able to do that. Leah and Emily, does that work for you? And Court? Cool. You guys are in the 3 different corners of my screen, so it's like I can only ever see 2 of you at once. Sorry about that. Okay, great. Well, that's what I had. Do any task force members have anything they want to throw out there?
How soon will we know if this is going to be a Zoom meeting?
That's hard to know. I'm going to look at Sean. I think it'll depend on what the city's rules are at that point. So Sean, I'm looking at you if you have any further guidance.
I mean, it's possible that we might find out before you do, but it's also possible that we might not find out before you do. All I know is there's an executive order that's being entertained by the council tonight to keep City Hall closed through June 5th. And we'll be staying tuned to find out if it will be closed beyond that date.
Cool. So we can check in with everyone after June 5th too. So if it does get extended through June 5th, that's a trigger point.
Sorry, y'all. I had like technical issues over here. I was going through it.
Oh no, welcome back.
Yeah, I started the call off on my phone and it wasn't a good idea. And then I had to go get a laptop and then the Wi-Fi and it all started up and I was like, of course. But it was a great meeting, y'all. It was a good
You can watch the recording later, right?
Oh yeah, it's on
You can
YouTube.
watch it on We're all YouTube stars now.
Ooh,
Shared it on our Facebook too.
subscribe down below, y'all.
Give us some likes. Okay, cool. Well, Jesus, I think the main thing you missed is our next meeting is actually not going to be till June 22nd. We won't know for a little bit whether or not that's going to be Zoom or in person or what. We're just going to have to roll with the punches a little bit with things reopening and staying open or not or whatever.
It matters. I want like after things open, I need like 2 months of me still secluding myself. So as long as there is a way to access the meeting online, now that this is our new life, I am here for it.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm thumbs upping that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, the city council is meeting at 5:30, I believe. So if we hop off now, that gives the clerks a little bit of a break. So unless anybody has anything else they'd like to bring up, we can adjourn a little early. Cool. I don't think we had a quorum, so I think we can just pop on off without an official adjournment. Thanks, everybody.
Good to see everyone.
Have a
Good to
great
see
weekend.
you.
Bye, everybody.